Wait, so the traffic light just knew to change for me. That's what you said.
Well, it felt like it.
Yeah.
You're stuck there fuming and poof, green light.
Right.
Almost magic. But then you think, hang on, did it really know? Or just guess based on something?
Or maybe just think it knew.
Yeah. And what if those hidden guesses, those assumptions, are running things way more critical than my commute?
Exactly. That's what we're really digging into today on Milo and Avery, this kind of invisible hand of AI.
Its reach and, yeah, the shadows it definitely casts.
Artificial intelligence. I mean, it's really not some far-off sci-fi thing anymore, is it?
No, not at all. It's just everywhere, woven into daily life. Sometimes you don't even notice.
Silently transforming things.
It's like this quiet revolution. You see the obvious stuff, maybe like the text predictor on your phone.
Finishing your sentences for you.
Or those amazing speech translation apps. Real time. Bridging languages. Even Netflix. Figuring out exactly what weird documentary I want next. It feels so helpful. Seamless.
And that's the promise, right? AI gets pitched as the super efficient, maybe low-cost, even neutral problem solver.
Because it crunches all that data. Big data.
Huge amounts. But then you look a tiny bit closer and it's way beyond film recommendations.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking high-stakes stuff, like how search engines rank information, what you even see.
Social media feeds, definitely.
Yeah.
And high-frequency trading. That's all algorithms moving faster than humans can think.
Financial markets, credit decisions, even health choices being influenced by AI.
And semi-autonomous driving.
Yeah.
That's a big one. The idea that the car might have to make an ethical choice in a crash.
Driver versus pedestrian. It's a classic thought experiment, but now it's potentially real code.
That is.
Yeah.
It's heavy. And it's not just private companies, it's governments too, right?
It is. Increasingly. Public bodies are using AI for hiring, for education decisions, how police deploy resources, even fundamental liberty decisions like bail and sentencing.
Yeah.
Core functions of society.
So is this where smart cities fit in, that whole concept?
It's a big part of it. This model using AI, the Internet of Things, everything connected.
Streetlights talking to trash cans, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And big data. All supposedly to make cities run better.
Optimize traffic, power, waste collection, even criminal investigations. It sounds good, almost utopian on paper.
Let's take traffic. It's a clear example. AI is already optimizing flow, reducing congestion.
Smart traffic lights that actually react to what's happening.
Reacting in real time, adapting, reducing delays, improving efficiency. Plus, safety features in cars, ADA.
Oh, the advanced driver assistance systems, collision avoidance, automatic braking. I've definitely felt those kick in.
They can make a difference. And there's an environmental angle, too.
Less idling in traffic jams means fewer emissions. That's a definite plus.
Absolutely. And the potential goes further. Urban planning, citizen engagement.
How so?
Well, imagine AI boosting urban memory, pulling together tons of scattered documents, historical records, community feedback, old plans.
Into like a single searchable thing, a knowledge translator, almost like a city planning chatbot.
Pretty much. It could help cities process vast amounts of public input. Think comments, emails, meeting recordings.
Sifting through it all to find the key themes, that's argument mining. I've heard that term.
Exactly. Not just counting likes or dislikes, but understanding the arguments people are making, their values.
That could actually be amazing, helping cities listen better, maybe even co-create plans with citizens based on what they're already saying.
It has huge potential.
Yeah.
But, and this is a big but, this shiny promise has a significant shadow side. We have to unpack that.
Okay, where do we start?
The first big one is the black box problem. It's probably the most famous issue.
Yes. The mystery box. You feed information in, something happens inside, and out pops an answer. High risk, credit denied, but you have zero idea how it got there.
Right, which feels wrong, doesn't it? Especially when the stakes are high.
It feels fundamentally unfair, almost Kafkaesque.
It's a serious challenge to due process. Take the COMPAS algorithm. Used in U.S. courts, predicts recidivism risk.
Likelihood of reoffending. I've heard of this one.
ProPublica did a big investigation, flagged it as potentially biased against black defendants.
And the company wouldn't reveal how it worked?
Nope. Withheld under trade secret protection, even when judges were using its output in sentencing decisions.
Wait, seriously? A judge uses a score from a secret algorithm to help decide someone's sentence. How is that even legal?
It raises huge questions. And while simpler, interpretable algorithms do exist,
They're often seen as less powerful.
Yeah.
Less accurate.
That's been the assumption. though some interesting research is challenging that, suggesting interpretable models can work just as well for these high-stakes things, like COMPAS, sometimes with fewer inputs even.
Okay, so the black box is one issue. What else?
Inherent bias. These models learn from historical data. And if that data reflects past human biases,
the AI learns the bias too, and maybe even makes it worse.
it can amplify it, leading to discriminatory outcomes. Facial recognition is a notorious example.
Right. Higher error rates for minorities, especially women of color. I read about that, leading to false arrests potentially.
Directly linked in some cases. It's why companies like Amazon, Microsoft, IBM paused or stopped selling it to police. The backlash was intense.
And it's not just faces. What about language?
Natural language processing, NLP, the tech behind chatbots, translation, studies show gender biases embedded.
Like associating doctor with men and nurse with women automatically?
Exactly. Doctor correlates with father, nurse with mother. It picks up on those societal stereotypes in the text it learns from.
Wow. And university admissions too. Algorithms messing up exam grade predictions.
Yes, with really negative impacts on high-achieving students from disadvantaged backgrounds in some cases. Serious failures.
So the tech isn't just a mirror to society's flaws. It's like a warped mirror, magnifying them.
That's a good way to put it. Old prejudices getting a new, efficient digital life.
Scary. And predictive policing falls into this category too, I bet.
Starkly, algorithms analyze historical crime data arrest locations, demographics to predict where crime might happen next, or who's high risk.
But that historical data is already biased, reflecting decades of over-policing in certain communities, discriminatory practices.
Precisely, especially targeting minority communities, particularly the Black community. So using that data trains the AI to replicate those biases.
Creating a feedback loop.
Yeah.
Like digital redlining.
That's the term used. It can lead to disproportionate surveillance and arrests in areas flagged as high crime based on biased data.
Which then generates more biased data for the algorithm to learn from.
Making the initial predictions seem correct. A self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a vicious cycle.
That is deeply disturbing. And what about the idea that these algorithms aren't even neutral calculators, that designers make choices?
They absolutely do. AI isn't a neutral device. Building an algorithm involves making value trade-offs.
Like prioritizing, finding every possible instance versus being absolutely sure about the instances you find, recall versus precision.
Or trading off accuracy for fairness. These aren't technical choices alone, they're policy choices, ethical choices.
Made by system designers, hidden away in code, digital discretion.
Exactly. So these systems don't just reflect our world, they can subtly or not so subtly reshape it based on these embedded values.
Which brings us to the human factor. If we can't see inside the box, how much do we just trust it? I mean, I follow my GPS sometimes even when my gut says, this looks wrong. Straight into a dead end.
That's a perfect everyday example of automation bias. It's a known psychological thing.
Yeah.
We tend to over-rely on automated recommendations.
We just defer to the machine.
And potentially give up our own judgment or responsibility. In the public sector, this is huge. Algorithmic outputs can constrain human autonomy.
Or just bias our ability to question the output. Unjustified deference, you called it.
Precisely. We assume the machine knows best, even if it's flawed or biased.
And does that deference actually make things worse? Like, studies suggest algorithms can increase discrimination in human decisions.
Some experimental evidence points that way. For example, humans selectively adhering to algorithmic advice in ways that disadvantage certain groups.
Like paying more attention when the algorithm flags a Black defendant as high risk compared to a white defendant.
That's the kind of pattern observed in some studies, yes. So the idea of just keeping a human in the loop as a safeguard.
Like the EU's GDPR rule, the right to human intervention.
Right. But if the human operator doesn't understand how the system works because it's a black box,
then the check is kind of meaningless, hollow.
Exactly. It limits the ability of actual experts, the public sector users, to spot errors or push back effectively. They can't be meaningful mediators.
Which circles back to accountability. An algorithm makes a bad call. Who's responsible? How does someone fight back?
It's incredibly difficult. Look at COMPAS again. Despite all the controversy, the questions about bias, its secret nature, it's still used.
And courts have upheld its use.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court did, saying it didn't violate due process, even with the methodology being secret from the defendant and the court. That sets a tough precedent.
That is genuinely chilling for justice. What about healthcare? That feels even more fraught.
It is. There are allegations, for instance, that Medicare Advantage plans in the U.S. have used AI to improperly deny necessary medical services.
Based on an algorithm saying, nope, not needed, that's awful.
It raises huge ethical flags, plus the worry about AI worsening health disparities. If training data reflects historical inequities in care based on race or ethnicity,
the AI learns those inequities and potentially recommends different standards of care.
It's a major concern. And then you have the issue of AI hallucinations.
Right, generative AI just making stuff up.
Imagine that in a medical context. A diagnostic tool inventing symptoms or suggesting treatments based on flawed or fabricated data. The risk to patient safety is immense.
And nurses are worried too, aren't they, about AI potentially replacing them?
They are. Surveys show real concerns about accuracy, the loss of human interaction, patient safety, data privacy, and just job elimination.
It might cut costs, but at what price to patient well-being?
That's the fundamental tension. It definitely points to a need for much stricter oversight, especially as companies push for wider AI adoption in health.
So who is regulating this? Is anyone getting a handle on it globally?
Well, that leads us to the global race for AI regulation, and it's fragmented. The big players, US, China, EU, have very different ideas.
Okay, break it down. The EU.
They're pushing a consumer protection, rights-based model. GDPR set the stage for data privacy. Now the AI Act is trying a risk-based approach, regulating high-risk uses more strictly, while trying to leave space for innovation. It's been debated for years now.
Cautious, rights-focused? Got it. China.
China wants to be the global AI leader, but their approach is often described as techno-authoritarian. They have data protection laws, yes, but also regulations for recommendation algorithms designed to promote positive information aligning with state ideology. Control is key.
Very different. And the U.S.?
More like capitalist self-regulation, traditionally. There's no single federal data protection law, no overarching federal AI law.
So it's falling to states? Like California with its Privacy Act?
Yes. States and even cities are stepping into the void left by federal inaction.
Cities? Really? How are cities regulating AI?
It's fascinating, actually. Because national governments have been slow or created loopholes, cities see themselves as needing to act. They're on the front lines.
Okay, give me examples.
New York City has a law requiring bias audits for automated hiring tools. Several cities, Boston, Minneapolis, San Francisco, Oakland, Portland, banned government use of facial recognition, citing civil liberties and bias concerns.
Wow, outright bans. That's significant.
Barcelona has a whole municipal strategy focused on digital rights, including a public register of the algorithms the city uses.
A public list, so people can actually see what algorithms are being used for public services.
Exactly. Amsterdam and Helsinki pioneered these public algorithm registers online for transparency and accountability. Now other European cities are joining in, trying to standardize how they report this data.
So they're even working together.
They are. There's the Cities Coalition for Digital Rights, pushing for ethical AI principles, fairness, transparency, security, privacy. They've launched things like the Global Observatory of Urban AI and an Atlas of Urban AI to share knowledge.
That's really proactive, like a grassroots movement from city halls.
And established networks like Eurocities are lobbying the EU, pushing for local government input into the big AI Act, making sure these city-level ethical concerns are heard.
So the pressure is building for stricter oversight overall.
Definitely. The recommendations are becoming clearer. Prefer transparent, interpretable models over black boxes, especially for public services.
Right. Implement rigorous, independent oversight. Mandate transparency about data sources, methods, impacts.
Promote real community engagement. And critically, as groups like the NAACP argue, prohibit the use of that biased historical crime data in predictive algorithms.
Because transparency alone isn't a magic bullet, is it?
Not at all. It needs a combined effort from designers, computer scientists, industry, public officials to actually explain, develop, adopt, and demand models we can understand and hold accountable. So, as AI gets deeper into our cities, our lives, just think about this. How much of our autonomy, our idea of justice even, are we handing over to code we can't really see or question?
Yeah. And what's our responsibility as citizens to actually demand that accountability from these incredibly powerful systems?
We seem to be building incredibly smart cities, technologically speaking, but maybe we need to be much smarter about how we build them.
And really ask who gets to decide what smart actually means for everyone. Definitely more to chew on than just traffic light.
Indeed. See you next time on Milo and Avery.